So you end up separating with Bad Boy. What year is this that you end up separating?
Well, this was probably, I want to say 2003, 2004. We were at a point where, like, music was kind of changing. I wasn't coming, you know, with the right mind, the mindset that I needed to be coming. You know what I mean? I think I needed to understand that, I had to do a lot of things a lot more different. I had to be more independent in my thinking and the kind of music that I was putting out. I needed to, be a little bit more strategic, in what I was putting out. You know what I mean? So, I think that's what, and on top of, just me being, just blatantly reckless to where, in my situation and not really, being, sympathetic of my own situation, like knowing I'm a businessman, I'm in a multi-million dollar, machine, you know what I mean? And not being, you know, not coalescing with that whole thing, you know what I mean? So,
So you don't feel like you were operating professionally in that business aspect?
nah, not at that time, and that's what I mean. Like at that time, you had to really, be conscious of what your situation was and how you needed to move. You know what I mean? And I was still on 90s time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm gonna do what I want and do what I do, and this is it. And yo, look, it is what it is. Living a rock star life. You know what I mean? Where, I wasn't even set up for that yet. You know what I mean? To where,
Yeah, because your prime years was like right at the turn of that, right? Where like hip hop really started to shift almost.
Right. Like hip hop was turning into, you know, more of a business for the artists, to where
Right.
if you were smart enough to understand, your leverage, you know what I'm saying? That's why, I could big the dude 50 up. You know what I mean? At that time, he was one of the people that ushered in, dudes being consciously, aware of, what they were doing, you know what I'm saying? And not just flying by the seat of their pants because they, knew how to write rhymes, and you know what I'm saying? So, that was where, like you said, like that was a time where, you had to be quick with understanding that, you know what I mean? Like, okay, music isn't, this machine that's just this jackpot, this lottery that you're gonna just make this money so easily anymore. You're gonna have to work for it as an artist yourself, so it was hard to, most artists just wanted to be artists. You know what I mean? And I was one of those people but I realized it a little too late that I couldn't be afraid to also, delve into the business side of it. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
because the piracy was changing the landscape of music. So like you weren't thinking like, oh, it's $20 a CD anymore, and like you just making all your money from that. Now it's like a lot of people started shifting more to moving like a mogul, right? The
right,
endorsements, all the different things that were coming like it.
right, the thing that the whole music business entailed. You know what I mean? The industry side of things. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I was catching on, not at the right rate though. You know what I'm saying? So, I was out of place at a certain point. You know what I mean? And so, the label, I wasn't moving with the times, I guess, with the, like I said, you know what I'm saying? So the label was like, yo, look, until you get yourself together. And like I said, it's on top of all of that, I was probably, just not in the right frame of mind. You know what I'm saying? So the label, bottom line is the label just told me that, I had to, just get it together and give us a call, bro. You know what I'm saying? One of those things, you know what I'm saying? So that was just the road I went down.
So did you have like a talk with Diddy in particular, or was this like through A&Rs, or how did the conversation go?
Yeah, it was basically with him. He was just like, yo, look, you know, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, you know, I'm putting this together. I'm putting this together. Wrong answer. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, what he wanted to hear was, you know, what business ideas did I have for what was going on? Not I'm trying to get this beat. You know what I mean? Because yo, I need to record this, and you know, like you still thinking like, you know, it's more to this than just the music. You know what I'm saying? Do you even see that, you know, the company is not even under Arista anymore, that it's under Interscope, and you know what I'm saying, that we have changed, you know, this one and that one and this, and like, do you even see like that you need to, you know, maybe think about, you know, a whole different formula on how you're going to put your music together, to, you know, maybe put some mixtapes together. Like if I would have came at it like that, like, yo, look, man, like, yo, I think I know what we need to do right now. We probably need to, you know, start putting these tapes out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press up, you know, 500 tapes and, you know, start, you know, 500 CDs, and, you know, we're going to shoot down to Virginia. We're going to shoot that, you know, that's what he wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? But I was like,
he wanted a whole marketing kind of plan.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, like that's how I should have been thinking. But I'm like, you know, I'm still thinking that I'm just an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he was like, yo, look, man, look, when you get it together, you know my number. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know, and then and then I really started figuring it out at that point. You know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute, you know, I could have just been pressing up my music myself. You know what I mean? All this time, you know what I mean? And going, you know, but that's what I started doing. Me and my man E Nice, the brother, my DJ that I had at the time, we started putting mixtapes together and selling them ourselves, and was killing them. Like we was going up on 2/5. I mean, we was, you know, it was very lucrative. You know what I'm saying? We would go up on 2/5. You know, lay it out, and just, you know, every day, you know what I mean? Wherever we went, yo, I don't know if you remember, yo, bro, I don't know if you remember the special delivery. Let's get it. Oh, that's you? Oh, word. Yo, yeah, G-Dep, what's going on? Yeah, I got these tapes, man. Oh, word, how much you want for that? Yo, $10. Here's 20. Let me get 2 of those. Matter of fact, here's $40. Give me 2 of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes, once they realized it was like me doing
cash in hand, cash is king.
It was like, yo, hey, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it was like, wow, all this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still, you know, and that's what, you know, what bro was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't, you know, you didn't catch on. Like, you know, you didn't need me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gave you the handoff. You know what I'm saying? Just run that thing on into the goal. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like still trying to come to the studio and record, and, you know.
Did you guys like officially separate at that time?
Nah, it wasn't no big thing. It was just like, yo, look, you know, holla. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? At that point, you know, if you didn't have a hit song, I still felt like, you know, all I needed was a hit song. You know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't have that at the time. So I still, even, you know, as myself, I'm like, you know, I felt like, yo, I didn't have what they needed anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really dispute it or anything. I was like, yo, you know, I dig it. I dig where you're coming from. Cause like, you know, I'm not the type to want something for nothing, or, you know, I know I had to bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was just one of them things.
And the style of music was different too at that time. You started to see like the radio had more of a formula of like a certain type of song that would make it onto there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. It was one of those things that that you had to, you know, you definitely had to, you had to have a high powered, you had to have good production at that time.
Right.
You know, it was a certain, you know, BPM, you know, you just couldn't like, you know, play around with it at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I wasn't in the right circle with the right producers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have the right music. You know what I'm saying at that time.
But Bad Boy had a bunch of great producers, right? Like, were they
Yeah,
not giving you that heat?
yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, you had to be, you know, in the circle to get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to be, you know, and you know, in the studios or, you know, at least, you know, on their radar to be like, nah, give that to Depp. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, so it you know, I was already kind of like sliding out of the loop. You know what I mean? Like,
Got
you
you. Okay.
know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, you know, I wasn't the one that they was like, yo, give him that. You know what I mean? You know, because I didn't have it. So obviously, you know, I'm pretty sure it was around. You know what I mean? What I needed, but you know.